This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Ross Hackerson is back. We are so excited to have him here today. We are going to continue our conversation with the survival model of psychosocial dynamics. And you're like, wait, what are we talking about? We're talking about relationships, family, couples. There's a lot to it. And if you missed what we've been talking about, you got to watch his past episodes. But first, let me have Ross introduce himself. Please say hello.
Good morning, Jill. I'm Ross Hackerson. I'm the director of An Affair of the Heart. Affair of the Heart, we're a collaborative group of therapists, coaches. We work with families, couples, individuals to, the regular stuff, Jill. We resolve all those problems. You come in, you're not happy with your spouse, or you're having some anxiety and depression as an individual. We work with those kinds of things. We have coaches. We have therapists, social workers. All of us are therapists or coaches. And Jill, what we do, I want to say sometimes I leave out that our focus is using an intensive. Yeah. We don't really do so much week-to-week work. It's like you say, hey, Ross, I've been working with this problem forever. I want to come in. I want to get through it. And we will sit down 6 hours a day, anywhere from 1 to 5 or 6 days. And we do that. And, in the old days, we did talk therapy, Jill. We talked about it and we talked about it. And sometimes the people change their behavior. When you come for an intensive, when you walk away, you're being different. You're feeling, thinking, and acting different. That's how it works. I have something else I'd like to say for just a second. We have a sideline program where we teach introductory concepts, and we teach the introductory concepts that it takes to be a life coach. And we do that in experiential weekends and weekend workshops. And I've never really thought to mention this, but if anyone's really interested in that, if you think, oh, I want to be a life coach, but I have no idea where I go next, we are happy to have you come to one of our weekend workshops and participate. You walk away knowing more than you did when you got here, feeling good about yourself, and with some good information. So, yeah.
Well, thank you.
Now, are we ready to? I want to tell people, if they want to get a hold of me, just call me, please. Ross Hackerson, 413-210-3739. I've talked about any of this stuff. Okay, Jill, I guess I already started, huh?
Well, I'm ready. Excited to talk today and to dive into all of this. Yeah. And it's, survival model. You got to give us some information on how this all works. And if people, missed the last conversation, just catch us up a sec.
Okay. So, Jill, I'm really glad you put it like this. This idea, I want to say, I call it the survival model of psychosocial dynamics. Mm-hmm. And it's basically a theory of psychosocial dynamics. That is how we interact with each other and what we do, based in the concept of personal survival, literally survival. Now, I have to really be real clear. I lifted the idea from a man I think is a classical genius, and that's Robert Miller, a man he's a psychologist who started image transformation therapy. And he started this. Time. We've been doing therapy for a couple hundred years, for sure. I mean, in our style. And we talk about stuff. We talk about why people do things. And when it comes down to it, why do we do things? Yeah. All because my mommy did this to me, or my daddy did that, or because I had this terrible trauma. Jill, that is why we do things. But what's underlying that is this whole idea of survival. So I'm already talking about it. I want to slow down just a second. So today, what I'd like to do is just really talk about that survival model.
Okay, yeah.
I then want to hook it to attachment patterns and attachment styles. And if we have time, I'll come back and put it into how people get stuck in a self-limiting personal pattern. Doing
Yeah.
stuff, how's that old essence of craziness? Is doing the same thing over and over, hoping for a different result. We'll talk about how people get stuck there. So I'm going to start off talking about survival dynamics, the survival model. So if we just really bring it down to, as you and I have talked about many times, the first rule of life is survive. Now, that's really nice. How do we do that?
Yeah.
And how do we know if we're going to survive? And if the first rule is survive in life, doesn't that mean that all behaviors are survival behaviors? It does. So, right. Okay, Jill. So this always brings up to people say all behaviors are survival behaviors. How about my drink? Is that a survival behavior? Well, if it's compulsive, yes. How about kids cutting? Is that a survival behavior? Well, if it's compulsive, yes. If you're just sitting around cutting for fun, no. I don't know what to call that. I'm not even going to go there. But if you are one of those people who's cutting yourself compulsively, the compulsion tells me that it really is a survival behavior. How about depression? Oh man, here's one we all get stuck with. Oh, I'm anxious all the time. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. Ross, how can you say those are survival behaviors? Well, if it's not going to enhance your survival, what are you doing it for? Right? Okay, so back to survival. If all behaviors are survival behaviors, then I have this new way of looking at what's going on that I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, let's see. I look at my outline here. Basic concepts. Right. Okay. If all behaviors are survival behaviors, and I want to survive, then that means that I have to know whether or not what I'm doing leads to survival or not.
Okay.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Number one, that brings me to think. I then either move towards things that I think are going to take care of me and make me survive and live better, or I'm going to make a move away from things that aren't going to work for me. So if somebody says, oh, I don't ever like doing that, somehow that person has that behavior connected with, it's not good for me.
Yeah.
It's not enhancing my survival. How about ones things we love to do? So those things are taking us towards living, towards feeling good, right? I'm sort of trying to develop this in steps. So we have to, I'm going to go back to one I've used before.
Sure.
Now we're talking about two levels of survival, Jill. Psychosocial, emotional survival, and physical survival. Physical, it's easy to talk about. If you touch a hot stove, you jerk back. Is that moving to now? What do you do next time you come to a hot stove? Do you move towards it?
Stay away. Yeah, well, you hope. Yeah.
Right. So physically, it's really easy to see. You don't go into that bad part of town where you might get beat up, because if you got beat up there, you're going, no, I'm not going there. That's not enhancing my survival. The question is, this brings up the next step. There are those situations that have natural consequences, right? The hot stove, you learn not to touch it. How about situations that don't have natural consequences? Like living with our parents.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to have a natural consequence if they take care of us.
Yeah.
What if they don't? Oh, I'm already in step 4. I have to come back to step 2. Well, if they don't take care of us, we have to find a way to handle that. We have to move towards the behaviors that work for us with our parents to survive and move away from the ones that don't. I'm thinking, Jill, so how do you know whether what you're doing is working to enhance your survival
Mm-hmm.
or whether it's going to limit your survival? How do you know that?
Good question.
Absolutely.
How?
How do humans know things?
Yeah.
I think this is a good one. I was just talking with a client the other day, and I said, well, how do you know things? Go ahead, Jill, guess. How do you know things? Listen, how do you know things,
I
Jill?
say, I just know. I don't know about that.
Exactly what she said. I just know. Wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute, wait a minute. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to argue with you. That's true. But how do you know? When you say I know it, what's it going on inside of you?
I feel it. I feel like I
Ab-
just know. There's something that's telling me.
Absolutely. You feel it. So if we come back to survival dynamics and we say we have to go towards things that make us
Yeah.
live better and away from things that don't, then we can say, well, how do you know? And Jill, now you know.
Mm-hmm.
When you do something, you have a feeling about it. Isn't that right?
Totally. Yeah, it's like, it feels, yeah, like an innate type of, I just know. I can't say it any other way. I'm like, yeah,
Exactly. So you're having feelings. And when you have a feeling, you know. I have a question then.
sure.
So what are feelings or sensations? I know this is a big leap, but it's a categorical thing. So you know it by having a feeling about it. So this all of a sudden reprioritizes the function of feelings,
Okay.
right? And I have to ask, well, what's a feeling? Is a feeling reality? That's a yes or no question, Jill.
Is it a feelings a reality? I don't know. Are they? I'm so confused. I would think so, but then everyone's feelings may feel different. So I don't know if it's real or some people could be delusional. So, trick question for me.
Yes, I think it's a trick question for everyone, Jill.
Oh, okay.
Um, I had a couple in my office. Yes, and we really have to get clear what are feelings. So
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with this couple. This is several years ago, still with me, and we're really working. They're talking about a problem they're having, and this man is sitting there, being just as honest and open and vulnerable as he can be, and she's listening, and all of a sudden she jumps backwards, and she says, "You're being You're attacking me. I feel like you're being aggressive,"
Oh.
right? And of course, we almost had a fight right then
Mm-hmm.
and there because she's going, "I feel like you're such and such." And you've heard that one, "I feel like you're picking on
Mm-hmm.
me." And basically, well, I'm going internally, I went, "What? Where did that come from? This guy is not doing anything like that." I looked
Yeah.
at him and he's over here going, wait, wait. How could that be? I didn't do that. And I looked at her and I just said, wow, what's going on over there? She says, he's picking on me. I feel like he's picking on me. So my question was her feeling
Okay.
a description of reality? For what I've said, what do you think? Was her feeling a description of what was going on?
In her mind.
No, it wasn't. He was not picking on her. I mean, there were two out of three of the people in the room are going, wait a minute, what is that about?
That's how
But it
she
was
feels,
her
though,
feeling.
no?
But
Yeah,
still,
so I, in her mind,
yeah,
yeah.
it was her feeling. I mean, right? So for her, only it's not.
Okay.
So if it's not a reality, what is it? Here's the crux. The feeling for her was information. And I think that's what feelings are, period. They're
Yeah.
information about how whether something is good or bad for me. They're information telling me how I know something, and they're information telling me what to do next. Now, to cut to the chase, as we sat there talking about this, she said yes. When he said whatever it was he said,
Okay.
she felt attacked because if she actually owned that behavior, she would have felt
Ah,
like she had done something wrong,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
She internally organized around, oh, if what he says is true, I was a bad person and did something wrong. I have to, oh, he's picking on me. I need to deny that and argue about it. When we stopped and looked at, wait a minute, is he really being aggressive and picking on you? The answer was no. And she got there. And she said, yeah, but what happens is that feeling was telling me I was vulnerable and I needed to defend myself. So feelings now are information packages about what's going on inside of us and maybe the environment and what we need to do next. If you bring that back in, this I just love this survival thing. If we bring that back into this concept of survival, then she's saying, I'm vulnerable, I'm under attack. This feeling tells me I need to do something about that. And once we looked at that, she could go back inside and say, that's just like what my parents did to me. They would explain what was going on
Yep.
and they would make it my fault. And I knew that if I didn't defend myself, I was in big trouble. So putting the concept of behavior into a survival basis has us start thinking about what is the function of feelings, emotions, and sensations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and how do I honor that or how do I learn to use that information? Now, I'm going to go to the next step. So we live inside a social matrix, and we have to learn how to survive inside a social matrix.
Yeah.
So, how do you know if you've done something that is going to alienate and compromise your social matrix?
Mm-hmm.
Jill, the answer is I have a feeling about it.
Ah. Back to the feelings. Yep.
Well, Jill, how do you know if you've done something wrong socially and it's going to get you it's going to compromise you and limit your survival? How do you know that, Jill?
I just know. I have a feeling.
Say it again.
I have a feeling. Yeah. Yeah. I
You
know.
have a feeling about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, let's talk about a
Mm-hmm.
couple of those because I want to get into how this theory works in a social situation. It's that So if you've done something wrong and it breaks the rules of society, no matter what those rules are, on some level, what is the
Wow.
feeling you have that says, oh my gosh, I screwed up. I better go apologize? What is that
Uh-huh.
feeling? You know what it is? You say you have a feeling about it. You know what that feeling is?
No, what is it?
Shame.
Mm-hmm. Guilt.
Is
Yeah, shame. Yeah.
shame not a big one?
Yeah.
Well, let's turn shame around. Shame is in our society, we've pathologized and we've weaponized shame to become bad, et cetera, to really tell us negative things about ourselves. Well, let's go back to our survival theory and talk about shame as a positive social emotion.
Yeah.
If I break the rules in the society, in the family, in the school, in the tribe, the feeling I'm going to have that says, oh my gosh, I really messed up here. I need to go apologize and get things straight or they're going to kick me out
Mm-hmm.
is shame. Isn't that, you got it?
Yeah.
So in that case, just basic down home shame is a fairly good social emotion. But what happens is we weaponize. If you tell a child of 2 years old that they've broken the rules and they're really bad and they should be ashamed of themselves and on and on and on, that shame not only is the shame I now feel, it's not only a message that I messed up and need to apologize, it starts to tell me things about myself. It's information, remember? And it's telling me what a bad person. That's weaponized.
Okay.
And yet, I'm telling you, shame is a positive emotion because if we didn't have it, we wouldn't go apologize. And then things would get worse. So I'm gonna skip to the chase a little further.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Shame. So underneath shame are a couple of other feelings that we need to know about. And one of them is pain, and one of them is terror. Oh, if I'm 2 years old and I do something wrong and you tell me I'm bad
Mm.
and you yell at me
Ah,
and tell me if I do that again, you're going to kick me out, what am I going to experience underneath the shame? Pain or terror?
both.
Thank you, Jill.
Yeah. I know. Well, it
Keep
depends.
me in
Yeah.
line. Yes. So I'm going to ask you, which is bigger, the pain or the terror?
Terror.
If you're two, it's the terror. You are correct,
Oh yeah.
right? So now I'm walking around not just experiencing shame that I did something wrong and I'm a bad
Mm-hmm.
child, but I'm also experiencing terror. And if this continues to grow with me in life, by the time I'm 35, I'm walking around terrified and I'm in shame all the time. And I think I'm bad. So now let's go back a little further. Um, what if now I'm 8 years old in the third grade
Mm.
and Friday afternoon or Friday, a new student came to school. You know, a new boy comes to school. And I didn't think much about it, but I go back to school on Monday morning and comes recess. I'm just ready to go out and meet my two buddies, the guys, the kids I play with, the boys I play with every day at recess. And I go out and I run up to them and they just give me that, huh. And I said, hey, what? And they look at me and they say, you know, you're not our friend anymore.
Ah,
The
heartbreak.
new kid is better. We like him. He's our buddy now. You're out.
Mm.
Oh, Jill, I suffer shame because I'm not good enough to date. Now let me ask you, Jill, what emotion or feeling is underneath that shame? Pain or terror?
Pain.
Pain. Oh, Jill, I can see it all over your face.
I know. I'm feeling
That's
it. I have
exactly
little
right.
kids, and I hate when they fight and they're friends, and this happens. Yeah, it does. Oh.
Well, Exactly. So the thing what I'm really wanting you to see here is that in the one case, what's driving my shame now, the pathology of my shame is terror.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time I get to the third grade and I'm 8 years old, it's not terror. If these two boys don't want to hang out with me anymore, am I going to die?
No.
No. But I might feel like I'm going to die, but I won't. I was looking for two good friends when I met them. So I can now go find other friends, but the shame is driven by pain. Maybe the
Yeah.
pain of me thinking I'm not good enough, or why am I not? What's better about this other kid? So now we're back. I'm going to bring this back into survival dynamics.
Yeah, sure.
If I walk around feeling shame, am I going to thrive?
No.
So I'm going to do whatever it takes to avoid that shame, right?
Yeah.
I am going to stay away from that. And I can develop all kinds of behaviors. I can
Mm-hmm.
become a smart aleck. I can become a difficult person. I can become a nothing, all to avoid the shame. And if it's an 8-year-old, if it's pain shame, then I'm avoiding the pain. If it comes from younger and it's terror shame,
Yeah.
then I really have to find some way to handle that terror that I might have done. Now, along with the psychosocial theory or the survival theory of psychosocial dynamics comes how to fix it. If I'm walking around with pain shame,
Oh, yeah.
what I would do is have to take away the pain.
Oh,
It's like magic. And Jill, it's much more difficult than I'm making it sound, but it's like magic. I can help you. We have processes and protocols
yeah.
to take the pain out of that shame.
Oh, my gosh.
And if it's terror shame, we have protocols to take the terror out
Perfect.
so
Yeah.
that you can stop experiencing shame.
Yeah.
And all of that comes right out of the idea that, wait a minute, these feelings are about surviving and doing what we need to survive.
Yeah.
I have a sense we're running towards the end here. Am I
We
talking?
are. Yeah. We gotta run. It's
Jill,
good. We're good. You can tell. I'm like, we gotta go. Thank
yeah,
you. You're so
I'm
sweet,
just
Russ.
getting started. You can
I
tell this is
know.
why my
I
kids
know.
cut the ears off a scarecrow, right? So I don't know that I need to wrap that up. That's, I think, pretty straightforward. The survival theory of psychosocial dynamics actually allows us to look at things in a different way in therapy and coaching, and
Yeah.
actually take steps to to have things be different rather than just understand them and have to use willpower.
Well,
Okay,
thank you.
good enough.
Perfect. How do we contact you?
Oh, great. If you have questions, if you have answers, please call me at Ross Hackerson, 413-210-3739. That's Ross Hackerson, 413-210-3739. And if you're interested in any of this stuff about learning how to be a life coach and stuff like that, taking those classes, call me. I'll talk with you.
All right.
Or you can go on the website and get a look at all the different people in the collaborative, and that's an affair of the heart.us, an
Got it.
affair of the heart.us.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much,
Thanks, Jill.
sweetheart.
See you
You
next
have a
week.
great day. Thank you. Always a pleasure. Really. Thank you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.